Our next conversation is especially exciting since we've tried for the last several years to get Cracker Barrel on stage. Even in Nashville, we couldn't do it. So that's why I am so thrilled to introduce Sarah Moore, Chief Marketing Officer of Cracker Barrel. And Sarah will be speaking with Sue Frogley, Global CEO of Talon, about how the brand is growing its cultural relevance while staying true to its roots. Please welcome Sarah and Sue to the stage. But first, a video.
Here we are. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to kick this off with a stat that always stops me in my tracks. Cracker Barrel is not only one of the top 20 out-of-home spenders in the US, it is also the largest directional out-of-home advertiser with over 1,350 billboards, mostly along major highways. That adds up to 56 million impressions every single day, more than 20 billion a year. So it's a brand that's not just on the road, it owns the road. But as that showreel just reminded us, this isn't just about visibility, it's about emotional connection. So Cracker Barrel's billboards don't just guide people to a destination, they're an invitation, a reminder, something that is warm and welcoming just a few miles ahead. Now celebrating its 55th anniversary, the brand continues to evolve while staying rooted in what people love most: comfort, consistency, and a little bit of country charm. So leading that evolution is Sarah Moore, who joined us CMO in July 24. Sarah brings nearly 20 years of hospitality marketing experience, including 16 years at MGM Resorts. So today, we'll hear how Sarah is bringing a fresh perspective to a famous brand and how out-of-home continues to be a driving force in that journey. So big warm welcome, Sarah. So quite an audience we have here.
Thank you.
For this audience, I think it's safe to say that Cracker Barrel is an iconic out-of-home advertiser. No pressure. So let's kick off by talking about how central out-of-home is to your marketing strategy and what makes it so effective for your business.
So first, thank you. Thank you all. Honestly, out-of-home is kind of baked in our DNA at Cracker Barrel. What really started as a functional tool to navigate guests to our stores has really grown to be a part of our identity. It has really evolved to cue that emotional connection that you said along the way. And so when we think about out of home, it is such an important part of our mix. But just like any part of the mix, it's one that takes focus and attention and management. And we have really honed this program over decades, quite honestly, in partnership with your team and others. And I really feel that all of the optimization, everything we've done over the last few decades has really brought us to this point. We have been very public about our transformation. We are in year one of a 3-year transformation. And the role that out-of-home will play in that, I'm excited about it for a couple of reasons. One is the first year of our transformation has really been about testing and development and understanding what we're going to do across this framework for all of our core guests and prospective customers. And so now you're going to start to see that we're going to signal some of that change and what's really come out of that first year. And what a great way to do it than through out of home with that reach. And so I'm really excited about that and how we will continue to innovate on this channel moving forward.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So I think what's fascinating is how Cracker Barrel has elevated directional out of home into something emotional. So it's interesting. How do you approach that creative balance? So you've got to be functional, but you've also got to be brand building as well.
It's a fun line to walk.
Very.
We're a roadside brand. We grew up off the highway, and so we operate in 44 states, 650 plus stores, and the majority of them are off highways. And so as a directional tool, it is very much a real one for us. It is not always intuitive as to how to get off the highway and find your Cracker Barrel. From exit ramps and access roads, we literally need to tell people how to get there. So we can't lose that.
Yep.
But as Sue said, and as we referenced, the emotional connectivity to this brand is unbelievable. I would challenge that 70% plus of the people in this room right now have a nostalgic origin story with Cracker Barrel. I know I did. And so to have that kind of deep-rooted connection and love is a really powerful tool. And so bringing them together in a channel like out of home is a really unique creative challenge for us. And so it's something that you will see us doing more of and being really precise with how we use out of home as our brand storytelling evolves.
Okay, very interesting. So you brought some incredible hospitality experience from your time at MGM. So how has that shaped your approach? Because it's a very personal thing.
Yeah, so 17 years in hospitality, and we at MGM, we truly believed that you build the brand one guest at a time. It is about ensuring that every single touch point across the journey is delivering on that branded experience. Not only delivering on it, that you're preempting what that guest's needs are at every step of the journey. And so when I think about, transitioning to Cracker Barrel, I can confidently say there is no other brand within casual dining that can authentically live up to that spirit of service and hospitality the way Cracker Barrel does. We do it in our own way. We call it country hospitality.
Yep.
But when you walk into a Cracker Barrel, it is literally like a warm hug. Our 70,000 employees love us. They are very much in service of the guest. And so for us, it's taking that spirit of delivering on that at every one of our touch points. And we firmly believe that we're there to deliver more than a meal. We believe that our entire experience is built around that. And so we live and breathe it, and it's hospitality at its core.
Excellent, excellent. Now this next one's really, I can't wait to hear the answer on this next one. So it's fair to say that Cracker Barrel seems to have been showing up in culture in new ways. Shabuzi posting outside a location, podcast shout-outs, and more. So I'm really interested, how do you see Cracker Barrel evolving in the near and long term while maintaining that unique charm that you're explaining and so proud of? That, how do you keep that unique charm and heritage?
Everybody's talking about cultural relevance right now and how you show up. And I think the brands that aren't doing it right are the ones that are trying to be relevant for relevance sake. We talked about how deeply people love Cracker Barrel. And I think what is great for us is that we really have this kind of two-pronged strategy right now, but it's built on a really strong foundation. You referenced Shabuzi. Whether it's our retail store items going viral, if you haven't been to a Cracker Barrel retail store lately, you need to go. You will be so pleasantly surprised. But whether it's the retail store items going viral, whether it's Shabuzi posting in front of us, the amount of celebrities that just organically love us, that call us and say, don't take catfish off the menu. They care deeply about their Cracker Barrel. I can't tell you who did that, but if it gets back to this person, catfish isn't going anywhere. But people love us. And so on one hand, we have been pretty humble as a brand. We've been on the quieter side. And so it really is it's a defense and offense strategy.
Yep.
And so on the defense side, it's just being agile and paying attention to when those moments happen.
Okay.
And engaging with them and thanking them for their deep-rooted love. And that will create momentum for you. And so we're having a lot of luck but showing up where they're already talking about us. And then the other one is more of the offense strategy. And gone are the days where brands can think that like they can only have a one-to-one relationship with their customers. Those days are gone. It is so critical that you are showing up where your guests are and proving to them how you can add value and amplify across multiple layers of their life. And so for us, it's identifying those opportunities. Where can we show up where our guests are? It is not about relevance for relevance sake. It is deeply rooted in our authenticity and who we are. And creating experiences and partnerships that again, amplify that. A great example is our most recent announcement with our partnership with NASCAR and Speedway Motorsports. We have massive overlap in our audiences, and we have a lot of like-minded values, and so you'll start to see us playing in a way that is really amplifying who we are at our core.
Wow, NASCAR cars. I had not seen that correlation, and I love the fact that a celebrity will phone you up and tell you that you're not allowed to change the menu.
People care a lot about what we look like, what we serve, all of that. And it's a beautiful, powerful thing to have that strong of a foundation of love.
Brilliant. Okay. So like Cracker Barrel, out of home has evolved in recent years. We're seeing more digital, more programmatic opportunities. So I'm very interested, how do you see this changing how Cracker Barrel uses the medium?
So I think another mistake that brands make is that they don't bring the focus and precision to out of home that you do across all other channels. We scrutinize our TV spots. We scrutinize paid social campaigns. We scrutinize how we show up on every other channel, but yet oftentimes out of home is homogenized, or it's just not given that same level of focus. And so coming into this brand, I was unbelievably excited about, one, the rigor we have around our out of home, the optimizations that we are constantly testing against and evaluating. It is not just a homogenized channel for us. Where we really have the ability is around innovating with you all, innovating on the product, and just being incredibly precise with our creative strategy. As I said, we're going to start signaling some new things across our experience and across marketing. And so static classic boards are going to help us do that. And it's going to be great. But when I think about, again, 44 states, what we can do on digital and programmatic around local store marketing, around day parting, around weather triggering, we can be clever in a way that reflects who the brand really is, but be much smarter about how we're utilizing this tool to actually drive traffic into our stores.
I can see people writing notes.
We'll report back.
Finally, this is a massive question. What excites you most about the Cracker Barrel brand going forward?
No, it's a mouthful.
I really didn't want to trip up on it.
Oh, I mean, so much excites me about what we're doing at Cracker Barrel. We are in this really interesting place where we're driving consideration and reconsideration across a lot of new audiences. And we're evolving in a way that is unbelievably thoughtful because we started off great. This isn't about changing who we are. It's just about stepping into the spotlight in a different way. And so I'm really excited about where we're leaning in, how we're getting smarter about how we're engaging our customers, our core customer, our core guest, who has been that core loyalist who loves us so deeply. They are at the center of everything that we're doing. You mentioned our country charm. None of that is really changing. No. Everything you love about the brand, from the biscuits to the rocking chairs to everything, is still very much there. It's really about just kind of opening that door wider. We like to say that there's this component of if you know with our brand. as people, like more people need to know. And because when you do walk in, you kind of have a moment, if you haven't been there in a really long time, where you're like, wow, I had no idea. And so again, just deeply rooted in who we are, and evolving in a way that more people love us the way so many already do.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so sadly I need to wrap it up. So I think everybody would agree that Cracker Barrel, I think it just proves that how powerful out of home can be, but when it's done right. So I know that all of us at Talon, we're very privileged and lucky to partner with you. And I think it's really interesting, it's because you really get it. It's a brand that really gets out of home. So I want to say a big thank you to Sarah, taking the time in the rain, and just sharing your thoughts with us today. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you for being a great partner.